Hi everybody, welcome to this free video guide to the qualifying round in Expert Division for the Kings Park Tournament here on the channel. Please give me a thumb up and make sure you're subscribed. If you've not done so already, it's totally free. If you want to become a Patreon, please click the link in the description down below. Lots of perks and you will be helping to support the channel. Congratulations to all those who got banners and did really well following my notes from the mini, the Scotland 9-hole Cup. Don't forget to leave me a comment on this video. Let me know how it's going for you. As always, plenty of drops here and suggestions of tweaks where I didn't quite drop it so that you can go ahead and put some tweaks in. Remember, it's always good if you can take a token or two to get used to these setups, increase your drop rates, and also, of course, tweak as needed according to your clubs and balls that you have available. Here we go with hole number one. We're going to start with a katana here. It's always good to save a kingmaker if we can. Going with 5.2 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left, and with APOC 5 and above, setting up a P2 max rest with the yellow ring touching the rough on the right. That will be valid with APOC 5 and 6. APOC 4, you will have to stretch out 1.7 rings into overpower to find your position. You would have 10% of the yellow ring overlapping the rough. The adjustment is max plus 5, power 2 settings, and if you've got APOC 4, then you push up 6 yards after you've adjusted. Finding our point just before the circle drops as our overpower reference, and it's going to be between half a ball and 3/4 ball curl to the left. It's up to you if you want to tweak this and try and pursue the hole in one. If you want to be a little clearer of the tree, then obviously go with more curl, but slightly less would get you a look at the hole in one. But either way, a very easy eagle with only a katana. Going right side with this wind angle with the grizzly, and we're going to add spin first. We are using 3 backspin and 1 left spin, and we're finding our position here. We're looking at the second bounce and the plus yards. I want to be with the grizzly 9 just into plus 4, so the bottom of plus 4, that will be the bottom of plus 7 with grizzly 7 and 8, and the second bounce with spin added just inside that fringe line where it meets the green, after you've added spin, of course. The adjustment I'm making here is max plus 25, power 3 settings. We're using grizzly 9 numbers, regardless of the club level that you've got, and we're making 2 pulls over the bullseye. So look where I'm starting here, in between the white and the clear ring, and pulling over the yellow ring each time. So make sure you do the same. Max plus 25, power 3. Wind is just above 8 miles per hour here. We just sneak this one in on the left edge. Slightly less wind, will have less wind push though, so if you can keep it below 8, it would help, but wouldn't endanger the shot if not. Nice wind angle here. We're going to go with APOC and Kingmaker, and you want the sniper and the grizzly in your bag for the second shot. 5.8 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left. Starting points, APOC 5 and above, top of plus 10. APOC 6 and 5 will have the blue ring touching the rough. APOC 4 will have 30% of the blue ring overlapping the rough, and will start at P3 max distance. If you've got APOC 7, then you will have around 30 to 40% of the clear ring on the fairway, because you've got obviously smaller rings with a more accurate club. Max plus 10, power 3 in all cases, and I'm going here with, you can see, half wall curl to the left. Hitting perfect, and then you want to get a nice drive distance here. The reason I'm using the left curl is so that I'm not going to hit the min line on my second shot. Drive distance around 385. Second shot, find the min line and push up, count rings from min, pushing up from the min line to have the blue ring by the bunker and the ball guide through the hole. I pushed up 8 rings there. Then we're going to add spin. It will vary depending on your drive, but here I have the tip of the ball guide just away from the right edge of the cup. This one does drop, but it goes in quite quickly, so I would be tempted just to go with a little bit more backspin here, because you will see it comes in a little bit pacey. 8 rings up from min is equal to 10% slider, and I'm using 10% elevation, power 3 settings on this one. Pushing the rings, otherwise the trees are in the way, so I do 4 rings at a time. That's how I like to push my rings. Just try and be as accurate as you can. And a perfect ball here. Like I say, maybe a little bit more backspin. Set that ball guide a little bit further from the hole, because you can see comes in a little bit hot. This is a very tough pin placement here. You need to tweak the backspin a little bit here. In the video, I'm going with 7.8 backspin and 1 left spin. I'm playing with the rocket. The blue ring should be touching the bunker in both parts there. You can see just to the bottom left and bottom right. And with the spin added, you'll see the ball guide looking like that. Again, this adjustment is a faff. You've got to really push the rings, and you've got to do it in this way. So you're going to push 3 rings first, and only 3, otherwise the thing will glitch. Then you do the remaining rings, and there you see it will glitch. So make sure you count carefully and get the number of rings right. Take a token or 2 if you can. Try and keep the wind lower than 8, otherwise you may risk hitting the min line. Min plus 15, power 3. Just need to tweak the backspin by a click here because very agonisingly it comes in just a little bit short in line. But this is a very tough par 3. Got a lovely rough bump albatross on this one. We're going to drive with the APOC and a Kingmaker, and we're going with 4.5 top spin and 3 right spin. This is an identical wind angle to Pro actually in this qualifying round. Setting up at the top of plus 10 with APOC 5 and above. APOC 5 and 6, half of the red ring inside the rough. APOC 4, P3 max, and you will have 80% of the red ring, or rather 70%, sorry, inside the rough due to less accuracy. Max plus 10, power 3, and then we're going to play with some right curl, 3/4 of the ball, and then just before the circle drops as our overpower reference. Perfect ball away, and this is going to bounce very nicely on the fairway and roll down the next section of fairway to set up an attempt with our sniper. If you have a low-level sniper or you're worried about being short on this shot, you can add a little bit more topspin if you wish on the drive. 370 though is absolutely fine. Second shot, 1.5 topspin and 3 left spin as a guide. But this is all about the offset. I didn't drop this in Pro, but I put the tweak in here in Expert because, like I said, it's the same wind angle, and we got it right in here at the pin. Ball guide, there you could see, is going to be several green squares short of the pin, and you want the yellow ring touching the rough line there on the right. For a plus 9 landing position, that is plus 11 with Sniper 9, I'm going to play this 90% slider, 0 elevation. It actually turns out to be 1-on-1 in my instance. Use Sniper 10 numbers and centre the ball nicely. Great right, however, might risk the rough here, so you have been warned. Not been tested with a great right, but with that offset short of pin, we're dropping it for a lovely albatross. The play here on this par 4 is all designed to give you a safe birdie. 5.8 topspin, 3 left spin, top of plus 10 with APOC 5 and above, blue ring touching the bunker. APOC 4, P3 max, 30% of the blue ring falling down into the bunker. Max plus 10, power 3 takes me into overpower even with APOC 5 and above. 1.5 rings of OP pulling into there. I'm adding a ring on, so I'm going with 2.5 rings and then try and hit perfect. APOC 4, you're going to have a considerable amount of overpower here, about 4 rings I would say. So if you've got a better ball that you want to switch to, then by all means do so. I would rather use more overpower than less, just to make sure I clear the rough. Second shot, I'm going to use the Cataclysm or the Big Dog. 2.2 top spin, 3 bars right spin. Setting up here a little bit away from max distance, but look at that second bounce. It's a clear, at least a ring away from the rough in the middle, and giving myself room here as well for, I hope, a great right, although I haven't tested that, so take a token or 2 if you're worried about a great right. Going with max plus 0, inner wall curl to the left. You don't have to use the left curl, but if you're worried about a great right or a great left, maybe clipping the tree or the rough, then the curl kind of great proofs it. So if you want to use a bit more curl, then do so. But the objective here is just to get on the green to putt for your birdie. Here we are going to add spin first, and we're going with 4.8 backspin and 0.2 left spin. We are going to find the sticky spot here. It's fairly easy to find. You can see the first part of the ball guide moves, but after the second bounce it kind of doesn't, and you want to be in the middle of that sticky spot. So make sure you move left and right and find the exact centre with your spin added, rather than looking at the rings. Mid plus 20, power 3 settings. Again, it's advisable to keep the wind below 8 miles per hour, but I wouldn't imagine you would have any difficulty if it's slightly above 8. If it's kind of in the high 8s and maybe 9, then you may run the risk of clipping the rough over the sand here with this long second bounce. So maybe take a token or two if possible, because you can see there's minimal clearance. Mid +20, sniper 10 numbers, power 3. I'm going to use the extra mile 9 here for those that don't have an APOC 7. Obviously, if you do have an APOC 7, you could use the extra mile to find your position and then do a club switch. Red ring touching the rough on the left at max distance with a berserker, max top spin and 2 left spin. Adjust maximum distance, 10% elevation, and then we are going to push up in this wind angle at least half a ring. If you have more tailwind angle, I would just back off the push up a little bit. You will need to test a couple of tweaks if you want to just make sure this is an absolute safe shot in various wind strengths and angles. But either way, one ball curl to the left, and we're going with a little bit of overpower. The reference there was circle drop OP, so the first point you see that circle drop. We want to clip the rough and get a nice roll out here, and we're going to be left with an Endbringer School wedge. If you're enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to support that and help keep it free, we've launched a brand new patreon.com homepage. There is the link. There are lots of perks if you want to become a member over there. All support of the channel is massively appreciated, and it will help, of course, to continue to provide the Golf Clash content here for you. So please go and check that out over at patreon.com/BK Golf Clash. On this par 5, we're going to play with APOC and sniper. 5.8 top spin, 3 bars of left spin. And then setting up at +10, the top of +10 with APOC 5 and above. APOC 5 and 6 has the red ring touching the rough there that you can see. APOC 4, 20% of the red ring overlapping the rough at P3 max. Time to take our shot. Once we've adjusted, we're going with half a ball of left curl and just before the circle drops as our overpower reference. Now, you could actually play this if you've got APOC 5 and above and you're not really that bothered about dropping the albatross, but if you want an outside chance, it's still possible with a katana. Here, you could have a go with that. We're not going to be anywhere near max distance with a good drive for our second shot, but it would make the albatross harder to get. But wanted to throw that out there if you wanted to save on a kingmaker. Second shot, 3.8 backspin and 3 right spin. Just giving you a tweak on this one. We're aiming there, you could see, with the tip of the ball guide to the right of the pin and slightly high. It's just touching the edge of that dark green square column. And we're using our landing position plus yards, +2 with sniper 10, +4 with sniper 9, and that is 75% on the slider. Now, in the video, I used 5% elevation, and this one is, unfortunately, over adjusted. I would therefore suggest, as on the notepad, you try 0 elevation instead. If that one still isn't dropping, then maybe tweak the spin or the aim. But that will be my recommendation. I like the speed, but just try with 0 elevation, and you've got a good chance for the albatross. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.